Good evening. Here's what's ahead at 6:30. Some Gainesville churches feel the heat of some arsonists. Some Southside residents call out for more street signs after a child is hit by a car. Tropical storm Brett makes a deadly landing in South America. Don't go anywhere. Eyewitness News is coming up next.
Standard anti-lock brakes, driver's side airbag, 4.9-liter V8 engine, speed-sensitive suspension. Is there anything else about the 1993 Cadillac DeVille that you'd like to know? Right now, enjoy $3,000 cash back plus an additional $1,490 in savings on the special edition DeVille for a total of $4,490. So hurry to your Florida Cadillac dealer today, because before you know it, this offer will be over.
For a free video and information packet, call Apollo, now open in Gainesville.
WJXT, the one and only Channel 4. Now, from the team that's first in news, Kim Vadas, Mark Haarmann with sports, and meteorologist John Gaughan. This is Eyewitness News at 6:30.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Eric Dodd in for Kim Vadas. Our top story, 5 people are in custody tonight charged with deliberately setting at least one church fire in Gainesville. 2 of the suspects will be charged in a second church fire, and police say they will question all the suspects in a third arson attempt. It all began Thursday when the East Newport Baptist Church went up in flames. Early yesterday morning, Oak Grove Baptist Church was also destroyed by arson fire. And then this morning, the congregation at Hopewell Baptist Church in Gainesville found their church had been burglarized. And there was a suspicious box in the pulpit. Inside the box, a glass container with gasoline. Police say apparently someone had tried to start a fire, but it had burned itself out. The congregation of the church that burned down yesterday held their services this morning at their deacon's home.
You got to keep on going, because if you just stop, then the devil he done won. That's right. And as long as God on your side, well, I don't think you have nothing to worry about.
Yesterday, authorities searched the home of one suspect. There they made several bizarre discoveries, including stolen headstones from grave sites and upside-down crosses with mutilated dolls. The suspects range in age from 17 to 21, and while authorities say it might have been a sick joke, it's not a laughing matter for the congregation of the small church.
In the future, I hope we'll be able to get it built back. With the Lord, help of the Lord, I'm sure that we will, because he's got all powers and he can do all things. And I'm just sure that we are not going to give up.
Last year, a Tennessee drifter was arrested and charged with setting a string of church fires in Gainesville. The Jacksonville Sheriff's Office is investigating the death of an elderly woman on the west side tonight. The body of 77-year-old Fannie King was found near some railroad tracks close to the 5000 block of Roosevelt Boulevard. Police say she had been missing since Thursday. Today, when the family retraced her route to work, they found her body. Police say there is no evidence of foul play, but they are awaiting a medical examiner's report. Well, there's a street some Southside residents want city officials to take a close look at. 7-year-old Billy Ezzo is in serious condition after being hit by a car on Century Road yesterday afternoon. It's not the first time a child has been hit there. Eyewitness News reporter Jeff Weinzier says residents are hoping it's the last.
Residents who live on and around Century Street say they aren't surprised it happened again.
There was a child hit here 2 months ago. We don't want that to happen again.
7-year-old Billy Ezzo is the latest victim. Billy was hit while crossing Century Street. The driver of the car told police the young boy rode right through the intersection without even looking. Today, orange lines on the road mark the place where the tragedy occurred.
Yesterday when that happened, I told my kids if they ever cross that road again, they ain't gonna have nothing to go across it again, you know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, I was so upset, I was in tears because of it.
Century Street is a half-mile road that connects Atlantic Boulevard to the Arlington Expressway, in between single-family homes with plenty of kids.
So I see people that cut through here that I've never seen before, and they just fly down the road.
There are 2 speed limit signs along the road, but many residents feel caution children at play signs should be put up as well.
They need to post some signs up here that there are children around here playing, and they need to drop the speed limit.
Because kids are going to do these things, or put a stop sign on every corner, because there's hundreds and hundreds of kids out here.
We need, to let these drivers know that they do need to slow down, because what's more important than our children's lives,
But others feel parents need to teach their kids the rules of the road, and we found out what they were talking about firsthand. Watch this child dart across Century Street without even looking. Luckily, there were no cars coming. Could Billy's accident have been avoided if there were more stop signs or caution children at play signs here on Century Street? That's a question no one around here can answer. The only thing they'll say here today is that first thing tomorrow morning, they'll be on the phone with city officials asking for more signs in the area. Jeff Wines here, Channel 4 Eyewitness News.
Residents say if their calls don't work, they'll circulate a petition to lower the speed limit and get some signs put up. Miami police may feel sorry for a 66-year-old grandmother, but they say she broke the law. She's now in custody, charged with solicitation to commit murder. Lawmen say the woman told them her son-in-law threatened her and her daughter's life. That's when she tried to take the law into her own hands. Police say she told an undercover policeman that she was taking out a second mortgage on her home to pay for a hitman. A baby that died in an Augusta plane crash was en route to the Medical College of Georgia. The transport plane crashed into a swampy area yesterday, only a mile and a half from its destination. Along with the day-old infant, the pilot of the plane, a nurse, and a respiratory therapist also died in the crash. Officials say the newborn was being taken to the center because it was critically ill. They say this is the first time one of its transport planes has crashed since the unit began almost 20 years ago. Several hundred young people get ready to visit the Pope in Colorado for part of World Youth Day 1993. Today, their trip was blessed by Bishop John Schneider. Nearly 600 young people from the Diocese of St. Augustine began their journey with a Mass at the Civic Auditorium this afternoon. They'll be leaving for Denver tomorrow night. World Youth Day is a 5-day event that includes a Mass with Pope John Paul II, music festivals, and religious education. The group from the Diocese of St. Augustine will be one of the largest in the country attending the event. Well, coming up on Eyewitness News, a tropical storm proves to be more deadly than once thought. A powerful earthquake leaves residents of Guam shaken, and a young boy is recovering after being attacked by a bear. Stay with us.
Why do people prefer Hardee's over KFC?
The chicken at Hardee's is absolutely delicious.
We love Hardee's chicken the best.
Tastes better than Kentucky Fried Chicken.
KFC cuts a chicken breast into 3 pieces. At Hardee's, we cut it in 2, like you would at home.
The breast pieces are bigger.
The breasts are a lot bigger.
Juicy, crispy.
Since our 8-piece Hardee's pack with 4 biscuits is only $6.99, where are you gonna go?
Hardee's. Hardee's!
I would pass 5 KFCs just to get to Hardee's chicken.
For some real food. Hardee's.
Got an itch? Either one of these products will give you lasting relief because they've got the same ingredients, same strength, same quality, but you'll pay less. For the Pick and Save brand, Pick and Save, same quality, better price. A sprinkle of this will make you feel fresh all day. A sprinkle of this will make you feel just as fresh and smart because it's got the same ingredients at a much better price. Pick and Save, same quality, better price.
Monday on Eyewitness News Daybreak at 6 a.m. See how clay and computers combine to make life better for accident victims.
Also, you really have to crane your neck to check out this piece of equipment.
And earthquakes in Georgia, parts of the Peach State are all shook up. Then...
I'm Harry Smith.
And I'm Paula Zahn. Her soulful sounds are full of romance.
The one and only Olita Adams will be here Monday on CBS This Morning.
Every week, the Greyhound track pays out a whopping $2 million in cash, which means that an awful lot of our bettors can make a pretty big splash. At the Jacksonville Kennel Club, every day is payday.
Tropical storm Brett wasn't as harmless as first thought. That tops our first look at the world tonight. Brett packed quite a punch as it hit the coast of Venezuela. At least 70 people are thought to have died after heavy rains and strong winds whipped through ramshackle villages near Caracas. The storm pounded residents for 5 straight hours early this morning. Many were killed when mudslides swept away their homes. Things are looking better after the world's most powerful earthquake rocked Guam today, and it was a big one. The tremor measured 8.1 on the Richter scale. Authorities say at least 60 people received minor injuries. Several hotels were evacuated because of structural damage, and there were rock and landslides, but the island's civil defense spokesperson says the damage could have been much worse with an earthquake of this magnitude. Tension mounts tonight in the Somali capital of Mogadishu after an attack that killed 4 American soldiers. The soldiers died after their vehicle hit a landmine. That same convoy also came under fire from Somali gunmen. UN officials blame forces loyal to Somali Mohammed Farah Aidid. President Clinton today condemned the attack, saying any sort of retaliation will be taken in conjunction with the United Nations. UN officials wait to see if Bosnian Serbs will live up to an agreement to pull their big weapons off 2 mountains overlooking Sarajevo. The Serbs say they're pulling out, but UN officials can't yet confirm a withdrawal is underway. Serb leaders agreed to the pullout to get peace talks with the Muslims moving again. Meanwhile, President Clinton wants to keep the pressure on, but Mr. Clinton won't say whether the NATO allies will unleash airstrikes against the Serbs. A 12-year-old Boy Scout recovers after being mauled by a black bear at a California campground. The child suffered a severe scalp wound while asleep in his tent. His father says the bear sat on the boy's chest, and the boy says he tried to fight back.
I tried to gouge him in the eyes with my fingers because, you know, I know that when if you're being attacked by a shark, that's what you do. You try to poke him in the eyes. So I figured, you know, maybe that would work, and so I tried to do that, and I didn't get anything. Obviously, I didn't do that much damage to him. But
2 other scouts were slightly injured by the bear. It was the second bear attack in the area this week. Well, coming up next, Mark will take us to Skid Row, where some NASCAR drivers drive a crooked path, so stay tuned. Sports is straight ahead.
The one and only Channel 4 presents some award-winning students from Clay County.
I'm Rob Sweeting. Each year, students from all across Florida are honored as Walt Disney World Dreamers and Doers. These are kids who give 110%, but don't always get a pat on the back. They've been selected for this award because of their determination to be the best they can be. It hasn't always been easy, but these students have shown that with hard work and a belief in your dreams, anything is possible. Congratulations, kids. You give us hope for the future.
When severe weather threatens our area, things happen so fast there is no time to not be first. So we depend upon each other and we work together. And it's a team effort. We're mainly concerned with our audience's safety. And the faster that we can get it on the air, that's more lives and property that can be saved. When severe weather happens, it's important to be first because seconds count. If it's life-threatening, believe me, it gets on first.
Hundreds of thousands of families all over the Southeast have furnished their homes at Badcock since 1904. And just in case that some of you out there haven't discovered Badcock's terrific selection and values, I'm going to make it easy for you. Here's where they're located, and they're just about everywhere. And if you call this toll-free number, 1-800-BADCOCK, they'll help you locate your nearest store. Oh, I like these charts. I wonder who thought of that.
Buy with confidence from the people who care.
Come back to yesterday at the Okefenokee Swamp Park, just 8 miles south of Waycross on US 1. It's naturally fun.
Well, if you played the Florida lottery last night and didn't win, join the club. No one else did either, and now the jackpot rolls over to an estimated $16 million. If you want to check or recheck those tickets, the numbers drawn last night were 4, 28, 37, 41, 47, and 48. So better luck next week. Mark's in with sports, and just a full range of sports on tap today. We're getting back into football season.
Yeah, but the football game, if you saw it today on Channel 4, was kind of dull, so we're not going to show you that. We're going to show you something more exciting like the NASCAR race. You know, in the world of Winston Cup racing, tracks are like birds. There are many different species. You have the super speedways, the short tracks, and that rarest of birds, the road course. Only 2 Winston Cup races take the high road on the circuit. One of them, the Bud at the Glen at Watkins Glen, New York. Now, driving those road courses means the drivers need to turn right as well as left, and that sometimes is easier said than done. Just ask Rick Mass, who gets a little out of control here, hits the grass, and there ain't no stopping after that. He whacks into the guardrail and the tires. He's okay, though. His car, though, ready for the recycling bin. Kyle Petty had all sorts of problems in the early going. They had a check under his hood. However, with just 6 laps remaining in the race, Petty was in the lead. But watch what happens here. He loses it, and Dale Earnhardt, running in second, plows right into him. So both cars basically out of the race. Earnhardt was able to stay in the race, though, but as you can see, he was limping the rest of the way, finished at 18th. Petty needed to do a little hitchhiking, so he gets picked up by his buddy Dale Jarrett to give him a lift back to the pits. The crash did pave the way, though, for the pole sitter Mark Martin to ease across the finish line. Martin is the first pole sitter to win a Winston Cup road race in the history of the NASCAR circuit. So this is how it finished up. Mark Martin, number 1, his teammate Wally Dallenbach, number 2. Dallenbach's best finish ever. And take a look down there at Scott Lagasse from St. Augustine in his first ever Winston Cup race. Finishes 13th ahead of Darrell Waltrip, Ernie Irvin, Jeff Bodine, Dale Earnhardt, Rusty Wallace, Kyle Petty, Dale Jarrett. That's doing something on your first ever trip. Well, today was the day to bring out your Sunday best in Tallahassee, which means break out the garnet and gold and say cheese. It was media and picture day for the Florida State Seminoles, getting ready for another season under Coach Bobby Bowden. Now for the Seminoles, they're picked to be number 1, of course, in preseason again. However, the word no one likes talking about in Tallahassee these days is number 2.
You finish, 2 and 3 every year, you start to get frustrated, and you just want to wonder why we not getting it. But, I mean, we just got to work hard, and things got to fall in place, and we can't have no letdowns in the season.
You can become very complacent with those seasons, those records, but you can't allow yourself to get that complacent, to let that complacency set in. You have to always push forward with persistence, and you have to be a man about the game and try to always better yourself. You never be satisfied with pretty good.
Florida State opens the season against Kansas in the Kickoff Classic. Well, last night was a night that many thought would never come, especially Bob Ojeda himself. 4.5 months after surviving a boating accident that took the lives of 2 of his teammates, Ojeda returned to the mound, fully recovered from a scalp laceration. But the big question was, how far along was he recovered emotionally? It was in Baltimore. Ojeda, for the Indians, entered the game to a standing ovation in relief for the Indians, and that was no problem for Ojeda. On the mound, though, he didn't have a very good outing, including this home run to Cal Ripken, and after the game, he talked about it.
10 years ago, I couldn't throw a 3-2 cross-seamer by Cal. I don't know what made me think I could do it tonight, but, some things don't change. But it is, like I say, I'm glad that one's, that part's over. That first one, being back, is over with, and that one was for the guys.
Baseball today, the fat and the skinny of the Tigers win over the Boston Red Sox. For the fat, big old Cecil, who's probably weighing about 350 pounds these days, cranks out 2 home runs on the day for the Tigers, and that was all the offense the skinny guy needed. Big old Cecil, compare him to his teammate Tom Bolton. That is a difference. That's like a before or after Weight Watchers kind of thing. But Bolton beats his old teammate, striking out Luis Rivera. Tigers win it by a score of 5-1. Okay, in the National League today, Atlanta defeated Montreal 3-2, trying to pick up ground on San Francisco. The Giants trail Houston in the 7th inning, so the Braves could be 8.5 back. Chicago over St. Louis 2-1, and the Cardinals could lose ground to Philadelphia, who's playing down in Miami tonight. The Florida Marlins and Philadelphia Phillies just getting underway down at Joe Robbie. In the American League, Milwaukee plays Toronto tonight. Toronto in first place by 1.5 games now over Boston, who loses to Detroit. New York, a winner over Minnesota, 8-6 in 10 innings. Baltimore defeated Cleveland today, 7-6 in 11. California over the first place Chicago White Sox. So the Texas Rangers are trying to gain ground. They play tonight over Seattle in Texas. And Fuzzy Zeller lost to Larry Mize at the golf tournament, which we were showing you today, right. The Buick Open. We'll have highlights tonight, plus much more on First 4 Sports.
Great, Mark. Busy one. Thanks a lot. Overnight storms were a surprise for many. Overnight, will Mother Nature ambush us again? John's forecast is up next.
You're watching Eyewitness News on the one and only Channel 4, WJXT. First in news for North Florida and South Georgia. How much can one man know about sports?
Foot-pound test line was used to reel in the largest fish caught in the 1991 Bassmasters Classic.
12-pound test.
Okay, Sam, what kind of wood was Hank Aaron's bat made of? Yeah, and where was that tree cut down?
That would be white ash, and it was cut down in the northwestern United States.
Who won the 1992 Masters?
Pick up your official stuffed Sam postcard at Kentucky Fried Chicken. Then watch Eyewitness News live at 5:30 on the one and only Channel 4. Would you know what to do if a hurricane hits? Are you ready for the storm? Eyewitness News is. Before the storm, we'll be there with weather experience you can't get anywhere else. During the storm, even if your cable goes off, just unplug it and attach rabbit ears, and we'll be there. Even if your power goes off, We'll be there on your radio, broadcasting on WQIK FM 99. For your hurricane coverage, we'll be there for you on Eyewitness News on the one and only Channel 4.
Experience the sights and sounds of the city where fun and excitement never stops. Atlanta. Carlson Travel Network is offering you a chance to win 2 hot days and 1 cool night in a city where the big boys play. We want to seat you in the midst of all the excitement. Stop by one of Carlson Travel Network's 6 locations to register to win a chance to see the champions play ball on August 28th. It's a Grand Slam trip to Atlanta, courtesy of Carlson Travel Network.
I run my seafood department as though it were Marie's seafood department, and everything I sell has my name on it. I do have a few customers, and they say, well, I love seafood, but I only eat it out. And I said, well, why is that? And they said, well, because I really don't know how to cook it. I said, give me 5 minutes. I can teach you how to cook anything in this seafood case. I love seafood, and I love to pass that information on to other people. 5 minutes, guaranteed.
Another great thing about winning at the Greyhound track, it's incredibly fast. So go get 'em. At the Jacksonville Kennel Club, every day's payday.
Well, we're heading into mid-August, and hopefully we're into the home stretch of
mid-August, forget it.
Hazy, hot, and humid days. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, it really is August. We've got Tropical Storm Brett. August is the month that things really start to fire up in the tropics, and we've seen that. And also, as you just said, the hazy, hot, and humid repeat forecast is coming up, folks. Again, another typical day for us across the area. Mostly sunny skies this afternoon. A few clouds here this morning, but again, no rain to talk about. And this afternoon's temperatures, not too bad because of a sea breeze. So it was a mixed day overall for us. You can see the clouds here kind of breaking up along the sea breeze front. Really not a lot of action as far as thundershower activity is concerned for the moment. But last night we got ambushed, if you will, with some late evening thundershowers, and that may be again the case for tonight. Temperatures across the southeast pretty cool back out toward our north. We'll see that on 4D in a moment. 73 degrees in Wilmington, North Carolina with a thundershower. Again, some scattered rains across the southeast. A front's kind of lazily hung up just to the north of us, and because of that, we're on the hot, humid, and hazy side of the front. And not a lot of activity. Radar shows a few scattered showers well out toward our west, but for the most part, downtown to the beaches, another dry night coming up this evening. 89 degrees at the airport as of 6 o'clock, 91 over at Cecil, and then you can see the other half of that sea breeze. Hot temperatures back out toward Lake City and Gainesville, still in the mid-90s right now. Speaking of those folks back out toward the west, let's look at Tower Cam and see what you can see. Off to your right there, just on the edge of your screen, you'll notice on the western side of the St. Johns River some clouds. Those clouds are building with a few scattered thundershowers. Your current conditions at the airport, once again as of 6 o'clock, the temperature 89 degrees. At its warmest this afternoon, the humidity felt like 103, which it really isn't that bad for what we've seen. Southeasterly winds continuing to blow, a nice sea breeze on shore at 10, humidity 66%. And today's high, not too bad at the airport, only 93 degrees. Not much of a 4D tonight, but it's an interesting one. Here, let's take a look at what's going on throughout the southeast. A stationary front just to the north of us. There we are in Jacksonville. And heavy thunder showers all along the front. And the temperature difference, about 20 degrees. On our side of the front, it's pretty warm this afternoon. Again, 95 down toward Gainesville. But cooler back out toward the north. Nice area of high pressure there. Out toward our nation's capital, the afternoon high only 82 degrees under blue sunny skies. So again, nice weather to the north. Rain just to the north of us, and we're in the soup of the hazy, hot, and humid conditions. Across the tropics, however, we are keeping an eye on Brett. And like I mentioned last night at 11 o'clock, Brett didn't pose much of a threat from heavy winds. It was the heavy rains that could cause the problems. And these mountains right in through northern South America are up to around 8,000 feet. A lot of flooding, mudslides, about 50 dead now. And again, a tropical storm, a lot of people go, only hurricanes can bring the tough weather. Not true. Tropical storms can be very deadly. This low pressure right there is over land right now in northern parts of Venezuela. Will move offshore of Colombia and then head off toward maybe the eastern Pacific Ocean sometime during the middle of the week. Until then, it's again no threat to us. High pressure is in control throughout most of the southeast. An area of low pressure down to the south may bring some thunderstorms to South Florida, but that's about it. For us, the heat will remain where that big area of high pressure is. Cool air out through the northeast, 75 degrees in Providence, Rhode Island right now. And again, the showers and thunder showers are going to remain scattered about. Here, let's take a look at that 4-day forecast. And once again, if you're having plans for the next couple of days, it's the same old forecast. No real threats of anything in the afternoon, and 30 or 40% chance of rain each and every afternoon. Hazy, hot, and humid until then. A high of about 95 degrees each and every day for the next 4 days. And it looks like the pattern might break up sometime by the end of the week, but until then,
all right, looks like we'll have to
get
take
used to it.
All right, John, thanks a lot. Up next, we'll show you a bridegroom who didn't even get the chance to get cold feet. Don't miss it. We're coming right back.
The one and only Channel 4 presents Your Health Today. This segment on cataracts is sponsored by the North Florida Eye Clinic Surgery Center. Cataracts are a clouding or discoloration of the eye's natural lens. Most often, they are associated with advancing age. Technological advances and new techniques have made modern cataract surgery the most successful outpatient operation in history. New small incision implant techniques performed in the outpatient surgery center environment produce cost savings along with excellent results. In most cases, vision recovers rapidly, and normal activities can be resumed quickly after surgery. To find out more about treatment of cataracts, call Drs. Ron and Sheldon Single at the North Florida Eye Clinic Surgery Center on the north side or in Mandarin. This segment of Your Health Today was sponsored by the North Florida Eye Clinic Surgery Center.
Tonight at 8, it's Murder, She Wrote. Then Jacqueline Smith is a school teacher terrorized by a man who believes she's his long-lost wife in Nightmare in the Daylight at 9. Followed by Eyewitness News Night Beat at 11, all tonight on the one and only Channel 4. For a free video and information packet, call Apollo, now open in Gainesville.
Okay, Moms, I hope you've done your homework on colored denims, because it's pop quiz time. Oh. Yeah, all right. 2 moms travel the Mervin's back to school sale at an average speed of 35 miles per hour. Now, they each buy colored denims for their 3 kids, and they shop this week. How much will they save?
20%?
Wrong.
25%?
Nope.
30%?
Correct. Save 30% on all colored denims this week at Mervin's. Tomorrow, why every kid needs his own TV and phone.
Monday on Daybreak, George is all shook up.
Well, an Inglewood, Florida man said I do this weekend, but it was a wedding he hadn't planned on being at. Lori Clark set up the surprise for her groom. She says they had planned on getting married, but kept putting the ceremony off. So she went ahead and set it all up. Told all the friends and relatives, but she didn't tell her fiance, Frank Hearn. When he showed up, as you can imagine, he was more than just a little surprised, but he went ahead with it. Frank and Lori Hearn got hitched. No word yet if there are any surprises for the honeymoon, but quite a brave move to start out on. What do you think, Mark?
I guess he's saying, I do? Really? I did?
More of a question. Well, coming up tonight at 11, be sure to tune in for Eyewitness News. We'll tell you the latest on Tropical Storm Brett and a beachfront holiday for free. We'll tell you all about it only on Eyewitness News Night Beat at 11. Well, that'll do it for us for now. We hope you have a good evening. We'll see you back here then.